Drop shot's probably the most versatile technique that anybody can learn and get comfortable with in clear water. But common question, nose hook or Texas style? I prefer a nose hook overall. I'm gonna explain to you why. But there is scenarios where I like to use the Texas style as well. That guy right there. And we'll kind of break it down for you and tell you where each one of them will shine. I'm just gonna give you my 2 cents on it. Number one, the nose hook's gonna get maximum action out of the bait. There's less hook in this bait, hence there's more plastic that's free to swim, bounce around. So maximum action with a nose hook. Also two, one thing that's really critical is I'm gonna chin hook my bait. The hook point is tucked in the plastic. It's not exposed. That's a number one mistake too. Guys will just run it right through, stick it all the way out. Now, if you're up north fishing smallmouth or you're fishing really open water, might not be such a big deal. We're fishing around a lot of brush, dropping straight into brush piles. So keeping that bait chin hooked, really important. It keeps the hook hidden at all times, and the point is just right inside the tip of it. So when you get a fish on, you put pressure, you got them hooked up. All right, so another thing about the nose hook is there's less hook showing, so fish don't see it all the time. All the time. I get this question. You really think those fish can see at 20, 30 feet? 20 and 30 feet, guys, is not as far as you think it is. This boat from tip to tip with the motor, it's 22 feet long. It's not that deep in clear water. I've dropped cameras down 30, 35 feet. I can still see a number 4 drop shot hook on my bait. So maybe this will answer it for you. I'll let y'all sit back and think about this. How many times have you all been fishing ponds, lakes, especially in clear water? Your fish has just coincidentally bit the worm off right behind the hook on a jig head, snatched your jig trailer off, snatched your drop shot hook right up to the hook snatched the whole worm off. Is it a coincidence? Again, I'll let you guys think on that. But bottom line, the fish can see a heck of a lot better than you think they can. If I'm pulling up on any type of visible cover, shoreline cover, or any heavy brush, there's a chance that I may run into largemouth as well, then I may lean towards the Texas style. Also, if I'm sight fishing for fish, I use this as well. The real advantage to this is it is a little more weedless, so I can fish it right up in the cover. Big deal too, if I'm around largemouth, they've got a bigger mouth and they're more likely to just bite and run off of that whole bait. So you get a really good hook up in them. Also too, when I'm using a little bit heavier line, if I'm using 8, 10, or potentially even 12 or 15 fishing a shallow, drop shot, I will use the Texas style most all the time because it allows me to, that heavier line allows me to drive that hook in and get a really good hook up. Like I said, big deal on the Texas style is I prefer that when I'm fishing around largemouth especially, or any type of shoreline cover. It allows me to fish it around docks better, and I get a really good hook up that way. So those are the scenarios where I like to use the Texas style. I also will use it if I'm fishing deep. I'll also use it and drop it when I'm dropping straight into the brush pile. So if I'm really fishing it in the thickest part of the pile, then in that case, I may opt for the Texas style. One bait to learn on a clear water fishery is a drop shot. So spool up, there's a variety of different baits that are gonna work. Just experiment with it, put some time in with the drop shot, and I promise you it'll pay off. And one last thing, don't fall for the whole myth that the spinning rods and little baits only catch small fish. They catch giant spots. So good luck.